Welcome to another episode of the Press Box. I'm Registered Guard columnist Austin Meek, here with Ryan Thorburn. We're talking March Madness today. Ryan, you're getting ready to hit the road with the Oregon women. They're in the NCAA Tournament for the first time since 2005. They open against Temple in Durham, North Carolina. First of all, we were at the selection party yesterday. Obviously, pretty big moment for this program with Kelly Graves getting in the tournament for the first time in a long time. What do you expect from the Ducks when they get down to Durham?
Well, it's going to be interesting. They're a 10 seed. I think, the bracketology experts got that wrong. They thought they'd be a 7, an 8, or a 9. I think they like their draw, though. They play Temple. The winner presumably plays Duke. Temple, Kelly Graves said, is kind of like an Arizona or a USC, an athletic team, except obviously a lot better than those teams. So they've played a similar style before and had some success. I think it's going to come down to athleticism versus height. Oregon has a tremendous height advantage on just about everyone, and styles make fights. It'll be interesting to see if this young team can impose their will on a more veteran Temple team.
We were talking to Kelly Graves today for our podcast, and he made the point that at Gonzaga he won 6 games in the NCAA tournament as a double-digit seed, which is tough to do. He also made the point that in the women's tournament, unlike the men, you get to that second round as a higher seed, and you're playing a really good team on their home floor, which in Oregon's case, if they advance, is probably going to be Duke. What's your gut feeling about this team being so young and the fact that it has been so long? There is an element of they're going to be happy to be there, but do you get the sense that they're not just happy to be there and potentially they do have a couple wins in them?
Yeah, it's interesting because, obviously we all love the men's tournament because of the upsets. You don't see that very much in the women's game. It's basically the UConn Invitational is what this tournament has become, and Oregon happens to be in the Bridgeport, Connecticut region. But in order to even think about something like playing a UConn, you have to win one game first and then face Duke on their home court. So I think this team, based on what's happened this year, beating Cal on the road with a buzzer-beating shot, a team that's in the field, beating Washington at the Pac-12 tournament, a Final Four caliber team in front of a crowd that was basically sold out Key Arena, all rooting for Washington. I think they've been through enough of these big games where I don't think the bright lights are going to get to them, but you never know. I mean, 5 of their top 8 players are freshmen.
Yeah. Who do you see as being the key for Oregon in the tournament? Sabrina Ionescu, tremendous freshman season, freshman of the year nationally according to ESPN. Ruthie Hebert, statistically very impressive season for her as a freshman. Lexi Bando is sort of the elder statesman now on this team. Who do you think really needs to carry Oregon through the tournament?
I'm going to say Lexi Bando. I think the scouting is going to really, Temple's defense, I imagine, is really going to focus on Sabrina and Ruthie. They could have been co-Pac-12 Freshman of the Year. They were both fantastic. They're the statistical leaders on this team. Lexi Bando, as we know, is one of the best three-point shooters in the country. Pac-12 teams know that. Most of them are able to scout her and take, good shots away from her. Now you're playing a team that's never played you before. She basically brought them back against Washington. If she's hitting, open three-pointers, they're so dangerous. Like we said, they have the size advantage. Mallory McGuire and Ruthie inside. Sabrina, is a good rebounder for a guard. So if they can knock down threes, that's a great equalizer.
Yeah. Well, you brought it up this morning that Oregon is traveling further than any other team in the tournament for its first round game, which means you're probably traveling further than any beat writer in the country to get there. Have a good trip. We'll look forward to reading your reports from Durham, and we'll talk to you later on the Press Box.